I'm pretty sure this camera angle is a little tilted. And also, why do I never wear makeup for my intros? If you saw the title or the thumbnail of today's video, then you already know, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. In this video, I'm going to be reading all of Emily Henry's books. Now, I know you're probably seeing this thinking that's not all of Emily Henry's books. I've already read Book Lovers a couple months ago, and I still need to go buy Happy Place. Also, summer is starting, and I feel like these would be really great, fun reads to kind of get me in the mood for summer. So I am going to start with Beach Read first, but before that, let's run to the bookstore and pick up Happy Place. Back, and I got Happy Place secured. This book was all over the store, but then I saw this one little stack that had this sticker for the autographed copy, so I had to get it. There's her autograph right inside. I do think I'm gonna save it last for this video because I have a feeling this one's gonna be my favorite. I don't want to like have a negative opinion of the other two if I read this one first and absolutely love it and then the others don't seem as good. So we're gonna start with Beach Read today, so come with me. I'm gonna vlog the process, share my thoughts, feelings, spoiler-free reviews. So if you haven't read the books, no worries there. And yeah, let's get into it. About, I think, 50-ish pages in, so not that far in. This, like, it had a very sad start, and it was like a lot of information dumping in the beginning, not necessarily in a bad way, just kind of setting up our main character January's past and like kind of trauma she's been dealing with. But I almost like can sense this being like a self-healing, self-growth story, which I really appreciate, because something I always hear about Emily Henry's writing is that it's more than just a love story. So I'm really excited to keep reading. We just got introduced to Gus, who I'm assuming is going to be the love interest. I wasn't going to update until the end of the book, but I'm like 300 pages in and I was just sobbing my eyes out. I have no words. So, oh my god. I wish you all could see the way I'm literally balancing my phone in a Stanley Cup handle right now. But I just finished Beach Read in basically one sitting. I didn't start it till this afternoon. It's like 2 a.m. right now. Couldn't put it down, had to finish it. Ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it. It was great, but I don't think I liked it as much as Book Lovers. I'm definitely gonna go to bed tonight, but tomorrow, hopefully, I'm gonna start People We Meet on Vacation. I feel like this one's a little longer. Yeah, this one's definitely longer, and this is the one I feel like I don't hear people say this one's bad. I definitely don't hear this one getting hyped up as much. It's the next day, and my goal for today is to at least finish People We Meet on Vacation and then potentially start Happy Place if I get through this one. I think I said in last night's update that this one definitely seems longer than her other ones, so I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get through it, but I'm about to go take a book bath, which is my favorite thing in the world. It's basically where I have a bubble bath and I get like my coffee and then I just sit in the bath and read my book, and it's the most relaxing thing ever. So I think that'd be perfect to start this book. So I'm gonna go do that, and when I'm done, hopefully I'm at least like 50 pages in, and I'll update with my initial thoughts of the book. Okay, so I got to about 50 pages in the book. So far, I'm enjoying it. I think it's really cool how the book is jumping between different summers. Like, we'll be in the present, and then it'll go to like 12 summers ago, then 11 summers ago, and I feel like I like processing the story that way. Basically, if you don't know what the book is about, it's about Poppy and Alex, who are best friends, and they have always like vacationed together, but in the present, it's been 2 years since they've seen each other, and we don't really know why at the beginning. I'm going to pick up lunch right now, and then when I get back, I think I'm gonna sit on my porch while I eat lunch and read the book. I'm probably only gonna read like maybe 50 to 100 more pages before I have some stuff to do, and then hopefully like later tonight, early this evening, I will be able to finish the book. So I've been reading for the past couple hours and I'm about 50%, a little over 50% of the way through. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a slow burn. Like, I was expecting romance to be a bigger plot, and even though I feel like it's really obvious that the characters are in love with each other, there's not as much like tension going on between them. It really is mostly just like friendship, but I love the banter between them. It's not like banter typically in books where they're like annoyed with each other. It's more just like they're genuinely best friends, and so they joke with each other easily. I feel like this is a very light-hearted, funny book, which I appreciate because a lot of romances tend to be like super heavy and dramatic and angsty, and this just makes me feel like light and happy and giddy. I'm at the point now though where I just like want something to happen between them. I still don't know what happened to cause them to have a falling out. I'm assuming I probably won't even learn that until the end, but it's definitely really good. It has me hooked. I'm gonna take a little break from it because I have some stuff to do. I'm gonna fix dinner, and then after that I'm hopefully gonna finish it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to Happy Place today just because I have a lot of stuff to do, but depending on what time I finish this tonight, I might at least try to get like a little bit of the way into Happy Place. Also, another side note about it, I have been listening, I did this with Beach Read also, but I found Spotify playlists that are called like POV You're Reading Beach Read or POV You're Reading People We Meet on Vacation, and not only do they have songs that like are included in the book, but I swear the songs that play are like matching up perfectly to the part of the book I'm at. I love it. It just makes the reading experience so much better. I used to not be the type of person who liked to listen to music when I was reading because it felt like too much going on in my brain, but I feel like when I'm reading like a cute romance or something like that, I like to have like some background music, and it really just adds to the story, and I feel like it's making me read it faster too because I feel so much more like involved in the story. So if you're gonna be reading these, I highly recommend looking up the playlists. The book, and I don't know what to rate this because the beginning was so slow, and a lot of times I don't mind a slow beginning if it's necessary to the story. When I say slow, I'm not even talking slow burn romance, I'm talking slow. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 also, and just rate it the same thing as Beach Read because at the end of the day it probably like levels out, because there were things about Beach Read that I liked a lot better than this, but there were things about this that I liked a lot better than Beach Read. It's like later the next day. I don't even know the last update I gave, but last night I only read to page 66, and I'm about to start reading again. I'm definitely not going to finish it today because I got really busy today. I'm going to try and put a big chunk in this book tonight, give my thoughts, feelings, updates. Once again, spoiler free. I've heard people saying that this one's more of a literary fiction than her others, although I have felt like all of them have been more on the literary fiction side than they have been on the romance side. But I'm really liking it. I'm not too much into the thick of the plot yet, but we have the premise, which is basically a group of friends that meet up every summer for a little trip. I think it's like at a lake house, if my memory serves me right. And the main character, her and her fiance, who's in the friend group, just decided to split up, but they didn't tell their friends yet. And her friends surprised her with inviting him to the lake house. I keep saying lake house, but I could be wrong about that. I think it's a lake house. It's like a summer vacation home. So basically they have to pretend they're still together. But also so far, I feel like the big theme of the book is friendship, and specifically I'm enjoying it because I feel like this is a love letter written to college students. There's been so many things that I found relatable and so many really sweet quotes. I've literally been highlighting and annotating this book, and I never do that to books. It feels like a sin to me to like write in a book or like highlight in a book, but these quotes have stood out to me so much, so I'm gonna read them to you guys because I just think they're so cute. I actually sent this to my friends last night because I thought it was so true. It says, "My best friends taught me a new kind of quiet, the peaceful stillness of knowing one another so well you don't need to fill the space. And a new kind of loud, noise as a celebration, as the overflow of joy at being here alive, here and now." And I thought that was so cute. And then the next one says, "We fall into that hyper-comfortable kind of silence, the quiet of two people who lived together for the better part of 5 years and still, after all this time, have muscle memory for how to share a space." And I love that quote because I feel like that's like the definition of college students. We're only here for like 4 years, but my friends here are like my best friends I've ever had. I could tell them anything. We're so close, and I know we will be for like the rest of time. This one is really cute. It says, where it's like talking about something, and it says, where the summer after our sophomore year, Cleo, Sabrina, and I slept in a row of mattresses we dragged into the middle of the living room floor and dubbed super bed, staying up most nights talking, laughing until the first rays of sunshine spilled from the patio doors. And I was like so caught off guard by that because my two best friends, Haley and Victoria, and I have literally done that twice, where we've put our mattresses either in the living room or like all in one person's bedroom and like had a 3-day sleepover. And so it was just cool to read it in a book and see that like other people have that experience, or like at least the author like thought of that. Maybe she's experienced it before, I don't know. I'm only 60 pages into this book and I already feel deeply connected to it. So I know I'm gonna love it, and I've heard it makes people cry, and I was already tearing up last night at some points just for like the relatableness of it all. So I'm excited to see where the plot goes from here. I finished Happy Place last night. Even though I said I wasn't going to be able to finish it, I stayed up so late because I was hooked. I've been hearing a lot of people saying that this book has the miscommunication trope, and it does to some extent, but it's not the miscommunication trope where it's annoying and you're like, both of you just need to start communicating. I actually thought our two main characters did a fairly decent job of communicating. They just misunderstood the reasons that the other person was upset. But all in all, even though this was a romance-centered book, it honestly was more about the friendships and even the friendship between the two love interests, which I really appreciated because I feel like a lot of times in romance, that aspect of it isn't highlighted. But in real life, friendship is like the best basis for any relationship. I think I said this in a previous update. I feel like this is a love letter to college students. The characters in this book are in their like late 20s, early 30s, so they're not college students, but it has like throwback chapters to when they were in college and when they first met and like when their friend group was forming. And in a way, it's like the found family trope in the sense that like the people you meet in college become your family. By the end of the book, I had annotated it so much. Like I was highlighting quotes left and right, which I never do to books, but this one had so many great moments and great quotes. I bawled my eyes out several times, especially throughout the end of the book. It was honestly a very simple story. I was expecting like big plot twists or something because so many people say they cry, but the reasons it made me emotional aren't what I thought it was going to be. It was honestly just so beautifully written, and the character development of these characters was outstanding. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, definitely my favorite out of all the Emily Henry books. And I know I didn't talk about Book Lovers in this video because I had previously read it, but I gave that one a 5 out of 5 too, but for totally different reasons. For me, Book Lovers was just very fun, lighthearted, funny, but still emotionally engaging. Whereas this one, like, ripped my soul apart, but put it back together. I'm obsessed with the characters in this book, and I don't know the last time I've read a book where I managed to feel so emotionally connected to every single character in the story. This book does deal with some heavier topics like depression and grief, but the characters going through that and dealing with that made the story all that more realistic. I really appreciated that Emily Henry actually spent time developing all of these characters so that we could understand them and like the inner workings of their friend group and why they are the way they are. If you prefer character-driven plots, you're going to love this. So it is the next day. I know this is like the weirdest setup ever, but I was actually in the middle of editing this video when I realized I never recorded an outro. So to recap, I had already read Book Lovers before I started this video. Loved it. It was a 5 out of 5 for me, and it's actually what made me like want to do a video where I specifically read Emily Henry. And I don't think I've ever, aside from reading series, just read the same author straight back to back to back for standalone books. Maybe I've done that a couple times with Colleen Hoover like a year ago, but even then, I don't remember ever reading over 2 standalones of the same author back to back. So this was definitely a challenge for me, but I really enjoyed it and got to see like specifically what her writing style is like. And she's definitely an auto-buy author for me now, even though she sort of already was, because I've never heard anything but great stuff about her books. But this just made me fall in love with her books and her characters even more. And I started out this video with Beach Read, flew through it in a day, gave it 4 stars. It was absolutely fantastic. And honestly, now that I'm looking back, I almost want to bump up my rating to 4.5 out of 5 stars because I really loved it. It wasn't quite a 5-star read for me. Like I didn't get that 5-star feeling, but giving it 4 stars feels almost too low. Then I read People We Meet on Vacation, a really fun, lighthearted, cute romance. This one I also gave 4 stars, and while I loved it, I think that's probably my least favorite if I had to choose out of all of them, but I don't even think I can say least favorite because I still really, really enjoyed it. And then I closed out the video with Happy Place. That book tore me apart in the absolute best way. Automatic 5 out of 5 stars, and definitely my favorite book by her. I had so much fun doing this challenge, and I would love to try it again with another author if anyone has any ideas for someone who has a lot of standalones. I also know Emily Henry's in the process of writing another novel, so when that book gets released, I would love to do like either a reading vlog or a reaction video or something like that, kind of just highlighting that book and my thoughts on it if anyone would be interested in seeing that. I also have tons more book content and other content over on my TikTok and Instagram pages. That'll be linked in the description if you all want to go check it out. Please go follow me over there. I'm posting more frequently on those platforms, but I'm getting better at the YouTube thing. Also plan to do more like reading type challenges on this page soon. I'm thinking maybe like the 24-hour reading challenge or the swapping screen time for reading time, something like that. But if anyone has any specific challenges or just video ideas they'd want to see me do, please comment them and I will be sure to do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all of that stuff. It would really help me out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.